Hello everyone and welcome to the class of economics. Today we will start with chapter 5, that is money. This is part first video of chapter money. Chapter is very small and short, that is why I wanted to finish today only in this video. Now before starting the chapter, we need to know about barter system of exchange. When we talk about the chapter money, so there can be two system of exchange. It can be money exchange or it can be barter exchange. Actually barter exchange is not persisting today in this generation or in this present era, but it was sometimes in ancient time. We actually prefer barter exchange because there was no evolution of money. At that time money was not evolved, because of that people used to exchange goods for goods. That was considered as barter exchange of goods and services. Barter system of exchange is a system in which goods are exchanged for goods only. For example, wheat may be exchanged for cloth and house for horses, etc., or an employee may be paid wheat for his work or rice for his work or for his services. So there were no employer and employee kind of system because there were no services, but still if anybody is doing, any labor or worker is doing for you certain work, if he is giving his services, the employer or the person who is hiring that worker, he can provide him some wheat, rice or any kind of grain or any kind of thing which he requires. So this was barter system of exchange for goods and services. Now such exchange exists in CC economy, that is commodity to commodity exchange economy. That means this barter system of exchange, the economy called as CC economy, that is commodity is exchange for commodity, that is C to C, commodity to commodity economy. In CC economy, C stand for commodity and CC economy is the one in which commodities are exchanged for commodities, and exchange refers to barter system of exchange. That means here when one commodity is exchanged for another commodity, say for example wheat and cloth, okay, sugar and any vegetable. So whenever such kind of exchange comes, it is called as a barter system of exchange and dominated by this system only. But there are certain, that time there are certain difficulties in barter exchange system or drawbacks of barter exchange system. This was lack of a commodity measure of value, lack of double coincidence of want, lack of standard of deferred payments, lack of store of value, lack of divisibility and difficulty in exchange of services. These were some of the drawbacks of barter system of exchange. Now we will do this one by one. The first was lack of double coincidence of want. When we say double coincidence means when I am exchanging goods, I have only, say for example there are two people, you and me. If I wanted to exchange my wheat, you have also wheat available with you, okay, you don't want anything for me, whatever is available. So barter system exchange is possible only if goods produced by two persons are needed by each other. That means there should not be any coincidence. Whatever I need you must have, and whatever you need I must have that good, okay. That time barter exchange can be possible. So it is double coincidence of wants when it means that goods in possession of two different persons must be useful and needed by each other. It is the main basis of barter system of exchange, but it was very rare. That means this kind of condition was very rare when whatever I want you must have and whatever you want I must have, okay. So this combination was very rare. So this was one of the difficulty of barter system of exchange. It is difficult to find such a person every time. In barter exchange system, it becomes quite limited. That means this was one of the drawback. Second was lack of divisibility. Lack of divisibility means we cannot divide any commodity or we cannot divide any goods arises. For example, if a car is to be exchanged for a scooter, then car cannot be divided or scooter cannot be divided for that. So any commodity cannot be divided. So it has lack of divisibility. In case of money exchange system, this problem was not there. Now difficulty in storing of wealth. That means any kind of wealth or commodity we cannot store it for a longer period of time. Say for example in case of perishable goods or perishable item, under barter exchange system we don't have good godowns and this one warehousing. So some kind of goods which cannot be stored for a longer period of time, even perishable and some other goods, like it is very difficult to store wealth for a future use, okay. Most of the goods like wheat, rice, even cattle, etc., are likely to deteriorate with the passage of time or involve heavy cost of storage. Rice and wheat, of course, these are perishable. We cannot store it for a longer period of time because they do not have durability. and same way with the help of cattle also. So their cattles, that means animals, they are like cows and buffaloes, so their quality or their strength deteriorates as according to their age. So we cannot store or we cannot keep them for a longer period of time and their energy remains same, their quality remains same. It cannot happen in such case. Like further, the transfer of goods from one place to another place involves huge transportation cost, because that time infrastructure was very weak, no such trucks and no such vehicles were available for transporting goods from one place to another. So they requires heavy or huge transportation cost. Transfer of immovable commodities like house, farms, land, etc., which was not possible, and it becomes almost impossible. Now also you cannot shift your land, but it is quite impossible things. So these were some of the drawbacks, that is difficulty in storing wealth. Next is absence of common measure of value. Now here when we say common measure of value, say for example price of rice and gold, both are different. Gold is a precious metal, okay, and it's very expensive in comparison to rice, or it can be in comparison to any other non-precious goods. So there is always absence of common measure of value. Different commodities are of different values. That means there are different goods and commodities available that time and are of having different values. The value of good or services means the amount of other goods and services it can be exchanged for in the market. That means the amount of wheat and the amount of gold, how much gold and how much wheat we can exchange for. That quantity or that commodity, that was the main problem or drawback. There is no common measure of value under barter system. That means all are categorizing in same quality or same kind of good, same value they requires. So this was main problem, that is common measure of value. In this situation it is difficult to decide what is the proportion of one good in relation to other goods, in which quantity both can be exchanged, where both the parties will have satisfaction, both the parties will enjoy their advantage. Then next is lack of standard of deferred payments. When we say deferred means in installment, okay. So in a barter economy, future payments would have to be stated, that is all credit payments nowadays which we are going through, credit payments, or we can give installments also, quarterly, half yearly or anything like that, but that time such kind of credit facilities were not available. So in a barter economy, future payments would have to be stated in terms of specific goods or services. This leads to following problems, and these are: there could be disagreement regarding the quality of the goods or services to be repaid. That means the quality of the goods never remains same and the services which to be repaid will not be done. There would be disagreement regarding which specific commodities would be used for repayment. That means no criteria was available, which category of goods will be coming under repayment was not considered, nobody considered that. So this was also one of the problem of deferred payments. Now these were some of the drawbacks. Now we are moving to next topic, that is money exchange. Okay, in this chapter, basically the whole chapter is based on this only. When we say money, it is actually a medium of exchange, an exchange or a value with which we can easily or comfortably exchange goods and services. Money is something which is generally acceptable as a medium of exchange and can be converted into another assets also without losing its time and value in comparison to barter exchange system. No matter with time, no matter with value of the goods, we can easily exchange. It is a best medium of exchange of goods and services, and we can get the actual value of goods and services with the help of money. So money may be defined as anything which is generally acceptable as a medium of exchange and at the same time act as a measure. That means it is appropriate measure of value, and store of value. That means we can easily store such kind of goods, and standard of deferred payments. We can easily, with the help of money, we can have deferred payments. That means we can pay later on. Okay, we can have actual measure of value. That is, if I have 20 rupees, 200 rupees in my hand, I will get this much quantity, 2 kg of any good or 3 kg of any other goods. So measure of value is proper because of money. Now money supply and measures of money supply. In this particular chapter we have these two topics. Now what is money supply and measures of, there are certain measures which is required to supply money. Now first we are moving with money supply. The volume of money held by the public at a point of time in an economy is referred to as a money supply. That means that part of money which is used for circulation from one party to another, from one person to another, from one sector to another. So this flow of money which is moving from one person to another, from household to firm or from firm to household, anyways. So this supply of money is at sometimes it is in the hands of public at a point of time. At a point of time means for a short period of time. As a consumer, if I wanted to purchase a goods and services, I need to pay for it that. Okay. So for a point of time that money rests with me, and then again it flows to some other person, then it flows to some other person. So same way money is flowing or supplying. So in an economy it is referred to as money supply. Money supply is a stock concept, that means it is actually a stock concept. Measures of money supply. Now what is measure of money supply? On the recommendation of the second working group on money supply, RBI presented 4 measures of money supply. That means it was RBI who initiated this measures of money supply in 1977. Issues of RBI bulletin, namely M1, M2, M3 and M4. These were 4 kind of measures of money supply in which the money is flowing constantly. Now what is supply of money? Is total stock of money, that is in the form of currency notes, in the form of coins and demand deposits of bank. That is that part of money which is in the form of currency notes, coins or demand deposits with RBI in circulation are held by public at a given point of time. That is called as money supply. Okay, so it is a stock concept. Supply of money does not include cash balance. That means this stock of money supply never includes cash money which is held by central bank and state government, and stock of money held by banking system of country, as they are not actual circulation of the country. So these money which, that is cash by central government, state government, stock of money which is held by banking system, it is not in the circulations. Okay. So we will not consider this in supply of money, but we will consider this part in supply of money, where we have currency notes, coins and demand deposits of bank which is used actually in circulation. Okay. Now there are various measures of money supply which is stated or initiated by RBI in 1977. These are M1, M2, M3 and M4. Now we will proceed to what is M1. This is currency and coins with the public plus demand deposits of the public with the banks and plus other deposits with RBI. So these are the contents of M1. Okay. Now M2, it is again having M1, that is currency and coins with the public, demand deposits with the bank, public with the banks and other deposits with RBI. With that, addition to that, it is post office saving deposit also in the M2. Now what is M3 measure, in which again M1 is there, this whole, plus time deposits of commercial bank. This is also added in M3. Now M4, it is having M3, that is this one, M1 plus time deposits of commercial bank plus total deposit with the post office saving bank account, excluding NSC. That means it is not including NSC, that is National Saving Certificate. Excluding that, in total deposit with the post office saving bank, it is having in M4. Now some important facts about measures of money supply. That means we have discussed just now measures of money supply. What are the basic facts about this measures of money supply? The 4 measures of money supply, that is M1, M2, M3 and M4, represent different degrees of liquidity. That means these particular 4 measures of money supply, which is actually used in the circulation of money, it shows or it represents different liquidity form. Liquidity means which can be flowing, which can be used or which can be from one hand to another hand, it can transfer, with M1 being the most liquid. M1, that is currency and coin deposits all with the banks and other such deposits with the public with bank. So this being most liquid form, whereas M4 being the least liquid. Okay, it is very rarely used in circulation of money. M3 is widely used. M3, this concept measure of money supply is widely used as a measure of money supply, and it is also known as aggregate monetary resources of the society. Okay. M1 and M2 are generally known as narrow money, that is M1 and M2, these measures of money supply are generally very narrow concept of money supply concepts, whereas M3 and M4 are known as broad money supply concepts. So, these were some of the points or facts about various measures of money supply, and we have actually finished the chapter also. Some questions are based on this chapter, you go through that and try to understand those questions, and if you have any doubt you can ask me. Okay. Till then, thank you, goodbye.